Ian Wallace is a professional dream psychologist and author. He's analysed over 100,000 dreams. You can count them if you like throughout his career, and says exploring our dreams is the most powerful way to understand what we want out of life and how we can achieve it. I was just wondering, Ian, if at Christmas time we dream about Christmas, or is it irrelevant the time of year? I mean, I don't really think in the summer I'm dreaming summer dreams.
You don't really dream about Christmas. Usually people dream about Christmas at other times, like in May or September or something.
So we don't dream according to the time of year that we're dreaming?
No, it's all symbolic, Steve. It's what Christmas really means to us.
Okay, Ian, thank you very much for that. That's told me. I'm just trying to start it off with an interesting...
No, it's fine.
Yes.
It's fine.
A question about the season.
Well, I'd like to ask the question, what's the significance of dreaming about famous people? Because I had a dream about John Bishop this week.
Right, so when you dream about a famous person, it's the 26th most common dream, and it's all about celebrating your talent, Tim. So we use a celebrity as a way of representing a talent that you have, and you need to celebrate it.
Oh, so I should go into stand-up comedy now?
Tell us a joke, Tim.
That won't be possible. What about if somebody I mean, I'm not suggesting that Tim's delusional, but supposing somebody doesn't have that much talent.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tim has lots of talent.
Yes.
Everyone's got a talent. It might not be a singing talent or being a painter.
Yeah.
You have a talent, Tim.
Oh, okay.
And on top of that, he's just an ordinary lad.
Exactly. Moving on.
Oh, this is a phoner. Sue, is that you?
It is.
Hello, good afternoon. You all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Nice to hear you.
And you? Where are you? Newport Pagnell.
Newport Pagnell, yes.
Now, what's your dream all about?
Bearing in mind, I don't like water in any way, shape or form. And I'm in a swimming pool, and it's one of those long, probably Olympic-sized swimming pools. It's as though I'm skimming on top of the surface, and I'm really fast, and I beat everyone in sight. But whether it's a competition or I'm just doing it for fun, I've got no idea. But it's just weird that I've got this ability to skim the water, and I'm really fast, and I'm not bothered by the fact that it is water.
Never heard a dream like that before. I guess you have, Ian.
Yes, I have, Steve. So in this dream of the swimming pool, Sue, regular listeners will know that water symbolises emotions and feelings, and a swimming pool is where you can safely contain your feelings in a really secure way. So it's very common, Sue, in caring professions such as nursing and health, and it shows that you can really speed along processes by staying on the surface and not getting too involved emotionally in whatever situation you're involved in. So it means that you are very professional and positive in what you do.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It is interesting, and it's interesting that you said you don't like water. I mean, you like drinking water, don't you?
Oh, I like drinking water, but I just don't like water on my face, in my ears or anything.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so again, Sue is using water as a symbol rather than the real thing. So we have all these phrases in our language like pouring my heart out at low ebb, floods of tears.
Yeah.
So anything to do with water is emotions and feelings, and the swimming pool contains those safely for Sue.
Brilliant. Sue, thank you very much for being on. I hope that's cleared that up, and wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Email from Kim Milner. Steve, Ian and Tim, I recently had a very strange dream. I was walking by a canal and spotted a very tall man wearing a top hat and a long black coat. Weirdly, he had 3 legs, and I was very afraid. At one point, he was walking in front of me, probably quite fast. Then somehow he ended up behind me. Eventually, I passed a museum beside the canal, and by chance, my uncle was in the museum gardens and saw me. He shouted my name, and I went running to him. I have lots of strange dreams, but this one really scared me.
This is a fantastic dream from Kim. So we've said in Sue's dream that a swimming pool is how we contain water. A canal is how Kim is safely channeling her emotional drive. A top hat is some prominent idea that she needs to assert. 3 legs means that this idea is very well supported and there are definite steps she can take, probably quite quickly. The man being in front of her is a future possibility, and then being behind it becomes a past experience. So this dream is all about taking some emotional awareness from the future and then experiencing it. The museum represents accumulated experience and learning, and the gardens are how she cultivates new growth from that past experience.
Remind me what the top hat was again?
The top hat is a prominent idea that she needs to assert in waking life.
What about the characters within a dream then? Why her uncle? What would her uncle represent, for example?
Yeah, that's a great question, Steve. The uncle represents some part of Kim's own character. All the characters in a dream we create to reflect aspects of our own selves.
But it would be her actual uncle that she may have known in the past or knows now.
Yes, he's got some qualities, so he's maybe very wise or funny, or he's very good at dealing with complex situations.
How interesting, yeah. And the guy with 3 legs?
In waking life, we use tripods. It's the most stable structure. It's a very supportive structure. So if you dream of someone with 3 legs, then it's somebody who is very supportive.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, interesting.
Shall we take a break?
Yeah.
The Dreams Guy's on with us. He deciphers your dreams. He's called Ian Wallace. He's the dream expert. We're back now. I think we can go to another call. Mark Holmes in Barrow-in-Furness. Good afternoon. Good evening. How are you, Mark?
I'm all right, thanks, Steve. How are you?
We're very good, thank you very much. First of all, let's wish you a Merry Christmas. What are you going to be doing for Christmas then?
Well, I'm working every day now until Christmas. I run a shop in Barrow Market.
Okay.
So I'm doing that every day.
And you happy about working? How's trade going?
Oh, very good. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, we're doing really well, thanks.
Excellent. So, you've been dreaming, haven't you?
I have this dream, and it plagues me. I must have it, I don't know, many, many times in a year. And I'm driving my car, and I park it up, and then I come back to it, and I know when I've definitely parked it, but when I get there, it's not there. So then I start searching for it, and usually, more often than not, I find it. But then when I get in it and start it up, even though it's a very fast car, it'll only go at a very slow pace.
That all happens to me in real life.
Oh, does it? Now, that's the downside of living in London.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go down to Marble Arch and get my car back from the clampers. So, car is all about what, Ian?
This is the 28th most common dream that you're having, Mark.
Right.
And a car represents your individual drive and ambition. It symbolises your feelings of power and control as you pursue your ambitions. And parking reflects that for some reason you've had to park some individual ambitions that you have because of some other obligations and commitments. So although you do start to get back some of your drive, when you press the accelerator, it shows you want to speed up your ambitions and make more progress with them. This dream's all about you finding some way to get fired up and getting your spark back in waking life. And what you need to do, Mark, is decide where you want to focus your energies. And the more decisive you are, the more obvious your power will be in waking life.
I've never asked Ian this before, but how sub-sub are your dreams? Because Mark, for example, you said, well, Mark needs to get fired up. He already sounds fired up to me, so it must be in his deep subconscious, perhaps.
You sound quite ambitious, Mark, so there's something in your waking life where you've had to divert that ambition. So there's something that you want to do, but you probably have to do something else, and whatever you do, you'll be successful in.
Right.
But whatever you're doing just now, there's probably something beyond that that you'd really like to do, and you've had to park that for a little while.
Oh, I'll have to think about that one.
Interesting.
Yeah, very.
You never knew you were so deep, did
No, I
you?
didn't. No, definitely not.
Merry Christmas, Mark.
Merry
Thanks
Christmas
very much.
to you.
See you.
Ta-ra.
Ian.
See ya. Here's Tim.
This is from Brenda McLaren. She says, "Hi Ian, I regularly dream about trying to put my contact lens in my eye, but as I try to do it, it gets bigger and bigger." That's the contact lens, I think, not her eye. Eventually, the lens grows to around the size of a dinner plate.
Wow.
So I then attempt to fold it over and get it in that way, and then I wake up. Can you please explain this dream?
Yes, and Brenda's dream about the contact lens, this is all about the ability to clearly focus on the most important aspects of a situation,
Should have gone to Specsavers.
rather than getting caught up in surface details. Instead of her trying to understand the bigger picture all the time, she just needs to focus on what it means to her individually.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting, yeah.
Finally, we got an email from Laura Smithhurst. Ian, Steve and Tim, my dream is that I'm running really fast. I bend forward, put my arms out in front of me and take off and fly.
Right.
I've had this dream off and on since I was small. I'm 42 now and wondered what it could mean. Perhaps Laura is Superwoman.
She could well be. It's a hidden superpower.
Yeah.
But it could also be that it's the 6th most common dream, which as we know is flying. And again, going back to the language, we have all these phrases like the gravity of the situation, it's a weighty obligation. Laura is releasing herself from some heavy situation and giving herself a sense of liberation in waking life. It's very common amongst creative people, and it's all about not being too airy-fairy in her thinking so she can really spread her
It's not
wings.
about trying to escape something, no?
No, it's about in waking life to have actually dealt with a heavy situation or something where there's some gravity involved or some sort of burden releasing.
And of course, we use the phrase in real life. I believe I can fly. Is that idea going to fly?
Yes.
That's kind of breaking free from it and making it happen, right?
Yeah, let's get this baby off the ground.
Exactly, yeah, fantastic. Ian Wallace, of course, is the professional dream psychologist. Thank you very much for all your good work during this year, and we'll see you next year. It's interesting because so many people stop Tim and I and Janie and ask about you and how it's possible to analyse dreams. And we should say, this is what you do, isn't it, for a living?
Yes, yeah. That's what I do it all the time.
Who'd have thought that?
Exactly.
Who'd have thought that was a job? I mean, if you go to a careers person when you're at school and say, well, I'd like to be a dream psychologist, they'd laugh at you, wouldn't they?
That's exactly what happened, Steve.
You did it anyway. Well done.
Good for you. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
That'd be great. Looking forward to it.
Ian Wallace.
Hey.